when they spraying lies, but this is the truth. I ain't gon' post, ain't finna hate on your growth, but they gon' hear my side in the booth. Somebody lied to me too. But
What's good with everybody out there, man? Back with you with another episode of Speaking the Real. I brought my man Russell, man. Brought my man William Russell back on here with me. We're gonna be talking about things of history. We'll start asking some questions because my man been on Facebook, man. I don't know if y'all follow him, but if you don't know him by looking at him, me telling you his name, hearing my voice, his name is Russell. Where can they follow you at to get the information we're going to be talking about today, brother?
Well, most of my stuff, good evening, how everybody doing? But most of my stuff, I just whatever is on Facebook, I'd rather tell a lot of people just kind of follow me by Facebook. But if you follow me on TikTok, then it's going to be the Mellow Store. So that's the best way to get and kind of follow me and find out what I'm talking about.
Okay, so on Facebook is Russell Transport.
Yeah, it's sorry, but yeah, it's Russell Transport on Facebook.
Okay, so now some questions I wanted to ask him about what he posts, because he posts a lot about history, Black history. He talks about and y'all know we are listening, y'all are watching and listening to Speaking the Real. So we gonna be speaking the real here. And I want to thank everybody that listened to me in all the places. Everybody that has subscribed to my channel on YouTube, which is Speaking the Real podcast with Mr. Go Get It on YouTube. You can also follow me on Speaking the Real on Facebook, and you can follow me on Speaking the Real on Instagram, and on TikTok you can follow me as Mr. Go Get It. Now remember, the Speaking the Real is spelled SPEAKINDAREAL. Speaking the Real. Speaking the Real. Okay, now first I want to get into some history of what you found out about where we're at now in the 386 Lake City. Or what actually did blacks do here in some of the findings that you have found?
Me and somebody, one of my other partners, we're gonna do some more in-depth information we're gonna get, and we're gonna probably work it out and get it through the city. If they want it or not, we're gonna get that information. But for what I have for us now, some people might not want to believe it. They want to think, because that's what I kind of been, all my feedback that I've been getting. I've been talking to people, telling them this and telling this, and I mean, and I tell everybody, anybody, go do. If I say something, don't go on my word.
Research.
Go research.
Right.
Do do your due diligence. Go research it, and then you find out what's what. But at least 95, 98% of the stuff that I post, I go back and look at it and check it out myself. If I don't, if it's like a gray area or something like that, I'm gonna probably still post it, but it's right in that percentage of being 95, 98% correct. So that's the type of stuff that I try to post.
Because in actual reality, every man's history is his own thought of what happened in his area. See, I know I've been doing some research myself, and it actually hasn't been too much on where I'm at here, where we are at here in Lake City. It was just a broad period, and there are a lot of things that was taught that was untrue, and if you be like it takes a minute to and when I say a minute, it takes a while to unchange a person if they done been taught something for 15, 20, 30 years.
Absolutely.
Because we're not living in 900 and 1,000 years that they was actually living back then. We live in short. So if somebody they already say if you do some 21 days, it turns into a habit. Right. So let's say you ponder on this for 5, 10, 15 years, and or somebody tells you this for 5, 10, 15 years, and you just believe it because it's just been repeatedly told to you.
That's kind of part of our history, that the false information that we've taken in. Columbia County school system. I can't sit there and blame it on the teachers that were teaching it, but because
Right.
the information that they got, they pursued it and turned around and was telling us,
Right.
that's how the history and all that other stuff went down the line. But all that, I mean, all of it was just, it was a big joke, man. I mean, it's all really practically a big lie. Everything. It goes
Right.
down to the money, the land, everything else. All of that is black people has been here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Been here. I mean, been here.
That's what
That's an understatement to me.
Right. It really is. It's actually an understatement to anybody that is black. It should be. I ain't gonna say it is. It should be.
Yeah.
Because everybody, all the blacks don't feel the same about the way certain black feels. You could call it racist or whatever you want to call it, but when I'm gonna say when in your spirit, you feel okay. No, this ain't been told to me right, and especially when you can look back at certain things and come to find out that okay, this didn't go this way. You know what I mean? So when it comes to what we have been taught, yeah, it's time to reprogram.
It is.
It's time to reprogram.
It's like when your computer start acting up.
Right, yeah.
They go back and tell you to unplug it, reset it.
Reset, yeah, reset.
That's
yeah.
And I can jump into it. I can jump into it on the politics way when you start talking about reset. That's what Donald Trump and all that. That's what they're doing. We're doing a total reset here, and
Right.
And most of the black people, so-called black people, we're not focused on that. We focus on every other thing else, about the latest music or whatever. But the time is now to open your ears and try to be that person, even though you've been running that straight line from A to Z since you
Right.
know you was born.
Mhm.
Step off the tracks
But,
for a little bit, and see something,
and research some stuff.
Yes.
Read. Really, if you read, one thing I did when I was incarcerated, if I read a book about this person and somebody else had a whole different view and they wrote a book too, then I read both books. Like even when we come down to the wide earth, it's another book out there.
Yeah.
Of the family that they say they was doing all this and doing all that. It's the book that they family got out there. It depicts a whole different story.
Both sides of the story.
Right. But everybody, one thing what we do is people, we grasp on to what everybody else like.
We got a bad habit of that. Very bad.
And we go on that instead of studying and researching for ourselves. So when we was told that we came over here slaves, I had a problem with that as a child. You know what I'm saying? But back then as a child,
you weren't the only one,
right? And then as a child, also as a child coming up, and you reading the Bible, right? And the Bible is telling you where the first man was at, and the actual color and they telling you it was black, and it was in Africa. Yes. And you still want to say no. If you one thing you got
you know what it, and just like I tell other people, I tell them, I say, hey, it's a frequency thing. You can feel that frequency. You like,
yeah,
something just ain't. It's a couple numbers off. You know how a Bluetooth connect, and you got this number and that number, and then those two numbers got to match.
It's a God-given spirit, whether you call it God, the Creator, whatever.
Yes.
Because it's the energy we come from the earth.
Yes.
So it's the energy that comes from the surroundings of what we in. So for yourself, man. Everybody done had their whoa moment. Wait a minute now. Yeah. This don't sound right. But it's been told for the last 400, 500, 600 years. Man. So we just figure it's true.
It's embedded into our brains.
I got a saying where I say the furthest I can go back and remembering it's 54 years. Well, I ain't gonna say 54 because I'm 54,
Mm-hmm.
but I say 50 because by the time you start really trying to remember, you around 5, 6 years old, you get the memory.
That memory,
You know what I
is
mean?
on fire.
So I'ma always not trust what I was told because I was told it in a repetition of so many times that I'm supposed to believe that it's true because I was told that many times. When I was already trained and taught that if you could be told something a million times when you know you're being lied to, you know you're being lied to.
You know you're being lied to.
You know, and that's how that was. So I'm saying to myself, I'm like, yeah, I did my own little thing. Like, okay, I did my distance of Europe, my distance of Spain.
You start adding them numbers.
Yeah, because you got to think about it now. Okay, if Christopher Columbus, if he was from Europe, he got the boats from Spain. So he had to go from Europe to Spain to get the boats. Mm-hmm. Then you got to go back to Spain to get your people, go to Africa and raid them, come back up to the United States, and y'all land in St. Augustine, I guess, because that's the oldest city in the United States.
Boy.
And you land there. I was trying to figure that out when I'm like, great, if you on a boat that long, in the wintertime got to come, it's a lot of stuff happening this water. So I Googled.
That Atlantic Sea is the most powerful sea.
Right. And you can Google or ask anybody got Alexa now, ask Alexa how many ships is known to cross the Atlantic like that. And the number is well below 500.
Yes, well below 500.
And you talking about that's in how many years the world been here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be mindful of the stories you told, and if you're not a person that's gonna research it, I'm trying fine-tooth comb, dude.
Yeah.
And what I mean by fine-tooth comb, you find out what everybody had going on, even the people that's writing the books or what they wrote the books for, why they wrote the books.
Yeah.
I could be writing this book for money. It's the good book, but I'm ready writing it for money.
Right.
So I'm gonna write everything what's in it.
Some little fiction gonna be in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw some of my little stuff in there. Or I'm gonna make it to where I don't put everything in this one, but I put everything in this one. And only a certain amount of people that know that everything in this one, I have this one in the people. Because I did a little research where it said it, I think a research where it said the first Bible for the slave was 28 pages. But all it spoke about is how being good to your master. You see what I'm saying? So yes. you just got to know how to research for yourself and don't believe everything. It's an old saying I've been told for years. Believe nothing of what you hear and a little bit of what you see.
Yeah.
And just because somebody repeats something to you don't mean that's to be.
Yes, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's the thing about that, and
you have to breathe.
I'm telling for real, boy. That one of those things. You gotta hit that deep breath on that. Yeah. And that's one of the things that, because I tell when I talk to other people, I do it to this day, and I try to talk to other younger kids to be, for somebody at least tell them so they understand. Mm. I say, everybody understand the Bible was written, but now this is a thought that I have in my mind, and
right.
and there's other people that socialite, kind of social with me about it, and said, yeah, they kind of agree to the same type of story. But even the Bible itself was really just a diary. That's what the Bible is. It's a diary. It was written down, this and that, but it wasn't something for people to go by.
Yeah. Now, when you say it wasn't something for them to go by, because now I'm gonna break it down on my mind.
Yeah.
When you say what for them to go by, you mean like to live their life by?
Right, to kind of live their life by, and it had those things in it. In other words, it was almost like how a storybook, it'll tell you, the writer himself might say, I just get up in the morning and I take a walk down the street and come back, so I can get a peace of mind before I head off to work.
Okay,
it's like the same type of scenario. They're just saying the little words to say, hey, I'm gonna do this, but I'm not telling you to do this. You see the difference in that?
Well, see,
And I think we ask that. But for one thing, when it's written, especially put in a book, that's where I get real iffy about, real bad iffy. You know, my mom would say, "She's man, you." I said, it is a iffy thing, because especially when you're talking about the book of the Bible, and when we assumed the Bible, took the Bible in and started using the Bible for us, that helped. That, I mean, it did help a lot of people through some hard times.
right. But see,
But then that reset time came.
with this what I'm saying. When it come to the Bible is written by a man.
Yes.
That was actually to the
James,
point
that killed his mama.
Where King James.
King James, yeah.
He actually interpreted it
Mm-hmm.
from what it was saying, from what other people wrote.
Mm-hmm.
But what those people that he was interpreting,
Mm-hmm.
they was writing about the Heavenly Father, the
Mm-hmm.
creator of the world.
Mm-hmm.
But see, you get another man that comes in, and when he start writing it, he writes it in a certain way to where it appease himself.
Right.
But this is one thing I've learned from reading the Bible, because I done read more than the Bible. I done read. I done did the Holy Quran.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
you done
I done
you
did
done dug in there.
I done did things with the Mormons and all that.
Okay.
All of them are writing about the same exact thing.
Yes,
So
same
this
exact.
is what
Ain't
this is what actually lets me know that the Bible is real.
Mhm.
Now, when I say the
Yes.
Bible, I'm talking about the word and what it was meant for the people that read it and take in what it's saying, not for a gain of nothing but understanding of how to walk in this world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I ain't doing it for money and that. Once you start getting those people in there and start talking about the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
it turns a dark eye to the whole Bible and everything
It turns
around
it turns a total twist to it.
So I would say this, because from some of my study, King James also wrote a book for what they call witchcraft.
For witchcraft.
So that lets me know he was in it for the money. So because you write one for
mm-hmm.
good, and then you write another one for some wickedness. So you're in it for the money.
Mm-hmm.
People have a choice to choose what they want, but I truly believe that one reason I know
Mm-hmm.
the Bible is real and you need to follow it.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna throw something in there with the witchcraft, and that people let to kind of throw something in there for the people that not up to par on this. The witchcraft, it was considered a what Haitian when they do the voodoo. That was broadcast. That was in the Bible, just like when they say Jesus was doing all the magical things.
Right.
And this can go deep, but I don't want to take it there.
Right.
But this is when they was talking about the real Jews, and that's where all that
come
from.
What actually turns it into witchcraft? You got two systems now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got the good system, you got an evil system.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah.
Now, if I like, just like right now, I could take. I can sit back and take a word out of the Bible and turn it into something that look crazy.
Yeah.
If I want to, because it's all about the audience that's listening and what they truly want to hear. See, witchcraft is. I believe in witchcraft. Mm-hmm. What I mean by I believe in witchcraft, I believe it can get into people. Okay. But I don't. I see witchcraft is like, okay, it's you're dealing with something with somebody just actually doing what the Bible said not to do, and that's curse somebody.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Now if that person believes you got that much power, then yeah, it's gonna go down like that.
Yeah.
But if you know,
mm-hmm.
and if you know God,
mm-hmm.
it ain't gonna work. So my thing is that's one reason, because I went against the grain, and when it came down to God, because of the names.
Yeah.
We want to change stuff because we get bored with stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I ain't gonna call him. I can tell you that man name over there, Jim. I ain't calling him Jim. I'm gonna call him John.
Right.
I'm gonna call him Jim because you want something different, but it's all gonna come back to the same. It's just like what I was gonna say before we started talking about that
Mhm.
was it's only one color you can get every color out of.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all built into that color.
You can get every color out of black.
The tropical and we are that's what we part. We pretty much, if you want to call it, we're the tropical people, part of the Mayans and the Olmecs. So and just like my stepdaddy, Carl Lincoln White, he born down in Brazil area, but you go down there and not Brazil, I'm sorry, Belize, my bad. Belize, and Belize was a very that Puerto Rico and all of that right across that little Central America area there is where most of the people they was picking up and moving them up north of the United States, which is America, North America. They was putting them in places because they was hip, just kind of skipping islands, going from island to island to island to island, and that's how a lot of that stuff where it was going on. It was going on like that, and when when you was talking about the slave ships and all that, when it didn't add up, that's what those people for.
That has never added up to me.
Haiti don't get the respect that Haiti supposed to get.
Oh yeah.
Because part of those same people that was moved around and around us was right around Haiti area.
I'm gonna explain something to you too. When you see somewhere or someone or any kind of group or whatever does not get the assistance as others, you already know
they push you on the back burner,
and you already know they bless in a certain type of way that person or that country or whatever you want to be. Absolutely. And let's just call it what it is.
That's it.
And it's something. And see, a lot of people don't realize either. It's a lot of times it's not land or a car or somebody. Sometimes people just want that spirit you got.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, Haiti get handled real. I mean, that's one of the. I was telling my son out there that's one of the countries I've seen that don't get no kind of help.
No, and you know that.
Not the kind, No. I'm not saying
they
don't get none.
Right.
But they don't get the due diligence that I don't think they get.
It's almost like the good old boy. You're not in the circle because hey, Haiti fought out the French, the Spaniards.
That might be why. That might be why. We can't get a chokehold on you and hold you down.
So we gonna get you in another type of way. So. And it go further than that. It go further as
that's straight robbery. That's jackboys.
That's it. It's the same thing they're trying to push over there in Africa right now when they're trying to send the admiral or the guy for the secretary of the defense. They trying to get this feud going between the dude in Africa.
I think I seen some bits and pieces.
Man,
I was trying to figure it out. Like,
dirty, man.
I was like, is they trying to
dirty?
I try not to get too deep into it.
Yeah.
Right now, because I'm still nibbling around on some of the stuff that we done been told over him.
Yeah.
Then when I look at this, but all of it plays a part with the Africans, the blacks, all of us play the same type of part, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The way you want to take over and take control of other people stuff.
Because
where they get that?
You know where they get it? Because they themselves don't have nothing to take over. Themselves. That's that laid it out right there.
Right, yeah. Well, see,
they don't. That's where that comes from.
Now, one thing we have to realize too is this: you have to also look if they want to say that all us were slaves when they brought us over here, blase slaves to work the land, whatever. Then you have to say how you that rootless. That's how the country was built, so it's got to fall. Sometimes it's got to fall because it wasn't built on a solid. See what I mean by that? The foundation of if it was like that, but it's always a 64-year theory now.
Oh yeah.
They got a 64-year theory out there that speaks about them coming in and being here 64 years before it was ever said anything about slaves.
But you know where,
so that, you know what I mean?
You know what? You know all that actually come from. All that come from is it wasn't actually slaves. It was actually POWs. It was prisoners of war. That's what it was. We, the indigenous people of the Southeast. This is when we had Haiti was sending some of their people up here to America to help us fight off the Spaniards and the European and push the colonizers out. Haiti did a lot of that, but most of that was done way before. That was done back in the 1700s. But
now you can also do it. You can also do a look up where it said it was from the way it was going. It was people here 3,000-4,000 years before Christopher Columbus. So when you say it was people here, you what are you saying? You got to look at you got to look at it when it comes down to it, because you don't already say you're acting like wasn't nobody over here but some Indians.
Yeah,
and then we couldn't find out really y'all just you change your names around.
That's
them people weren't calling them. People weren't calling them.
They was Asian Mongolians. That's what they were.
They bought into. They say you say something to somebody a whole bunch of times, and they just automatically believe it. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
You know what I'm saying? And that's actually what's been happening. That's just like listen to a song. You listen to a song, say you can't stand the song. But every time you go in the elevator, you get in somebody else's car or whatever, you hear the song. After a while, the song you gonna start liking the song.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But that because you done heard it so much.
Yep.
And that's when it get to the point where when you hear something, because you got to think. You mean to tell me you was nothing? You was nothing.
No.
And you didn't know how to cook for yourself. You didn't know how to farm or none of that until the Europeans came.
Man, let me tell you.
Got you and come on. Yeah, they had to teach you. But then what contradicts that anyway? It makes that look like a lie when they say they had to teach you this, teach you that. If you look at most of the inventions, they was invented by a black man.
All they did when they got here, they killed off many people as they could. It was a full-blown civilization that was going on here. That's why everything here in America is older than what's going on over there in Egypt.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. Gotcha. See,
these same type of people, all they did is just travel over and show them different things, show them things what to do and how to grow your seeds and everything else. They was all that's what they knew. That's what America. That's why America is so strong in that type of agriculture. The corn itself. That's how much power the corn is. People don't realize how much power cornbread got. Cornbread a mug. Cornbread a mug.
Especially with collard green.
I'm telling you, they don't realize.
Yeah, I know.
And I know some of the younger audience, they probably they just look at cornbread. Okay, some good jiffy cornbread, we bust it up. No, it go this shit goes so deep. It goes so deep. And because we was the original people that came up with planting corn.
Right.
That corn is
most time, anytime you get a man that's working hard, he always gonna figure out a way of doing it easier or finding a way to have something to do it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So and like I said, we did a lot of all the irrigation and farming and whatever.
That was all us.
And then
nobody else didn't know any kind of way.
What trips me out is when they try to make it seem like they had to teach us that.
They didn't teach us that.
We
already knew all of that. We the one created all of that.
Well, that's what
So
I'm saying.
what the food that we eat every day, regardless, if it pops up out of the ground, guess what?
They,
Black people was the one that created it.
Honestly, what they actually got us on is that it's their laws. And what I mean by that is this: everything, even if you're wrong or you're good or whatever, everything it falls up under what they got going on. And what I mean by that, the laws, like even with when you get with let's say businesses,
Mm-hmm.
you can't just open up a business. You got to go to the courthouse. You got to get this. You got to
go through them.
State. You got to do this. You got to find it's their laws. That's where they got that, and everything is written in a clause to where they can change it however they want to because they're in the spot to change. You just in it.
That's right.
It's like a no mercy thing
to accommodate them,
and that's where they work. They worked us all the way to that. To where that's why you have so many people confused on saying, "Oh, this how it's supposed to be."
Better they don't want to even do nothing because of the simple fact of all the bullshit they got to go through.
But one of the things I have a problem with, and I always had a problem with this: how in the world can you pay for some land and you keep paying a tax on it? You never own it. I'm just it just I don't understand it.
Right.
And then to say a free country, what is free? Because you can get sued for anything now.
Yes, sir. And they suing them left and right every chance they get.
So really, it's the wording, man. It's the wording and the wordplay of what they got going on. And I this is what I strongly suggest that you do like we do. You research, you study,
right?
Okay. You find out your history. And I'm saying, yeah. If you read a book that another man wrote and he wanted every black man to be a slave, let me tell you something. Even like I watched this movie, I can't think of the name of it, but it was a black guy. He was a marshal. He went out to get people and whatnot. But when they did the credits at the end, it made sure it said he was a slave.
Yeah.
Before he became. So I'm saying to myself, well, if he was a slave before he became a marshal, now they got it to where when you come out of prison, you know what I'm saying, you got to wait so long to get your rights back. Number one, and then you can't have a gun no more at all. Number two. So I'm saying to myself that I guess they didn't have them type of laws for slaves. If you became, and then what did you do? Another man had to say we were just he's a free man now.
Right.
You know, see all that didn't set well with me. I'm like, yeah, dang, you know.
It makes you think of all the devious things that's been done to us. Yeah. I mean, it's so, man, it's so much to there ain't no other creature on earth that I think will survive that but us.
But see, the one that's what I want to say is the reason why we survived it because in so many words you have to say that all of them come from us. So you can't how you gonna kill the original prototype. If you kill the original prototype, you can't reproduce because the original prototype is not there.
Everybody die off.
See, so that's why. You know what I mean? We just got to know that within our own selves to know that okay. But when let me just it's just like talking to a child. If you tell a child he dumb from the time he's 5 years old to the time he's 15, he gonna do dumb stuff every time you turn around because he done been told that. Absolutely. So if you tell somebody that they was a so-called slave or whatever, y'all didn't have this and y'all didn't have that, and we gave y'all this, and they done heard, and then their grandmama done told you, your grandma done told you, your mama done told you, your granddad done told you, and you got uncles,
all them lies
on top of lies. On top of lies, you know what I'm saying? And then
it's gotta be the truth.
It's gotta be the truth.
That's what they thinking.
It's gotta be the truth. And see, and I truly believe that's what the Bible will talk about when it says you have to know whose you are. If you don't know, you're gonna always believe what this joke over here telling you, man.
Every human being should know who they are first before they even step into religion.
Right. Period.
Period. That's one thing that I advise anybody. If you want to jump into a certain type of religion or whatever it is, first find out who you are. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna take about 5-6 years to do that.
Right. Especially it might take a little longer now because the internet, a lot of us can't get it. All of us, it's hard to keep your face out of the phone because everything is there now.
Yeah.
And see, it's almost like, okay, I'm gonna keep your attention so much that you don't even want to think no more.
Yeah.
And see, when we dealing with now, see, because when we dealing with this situation about this, like I can say, the slaver's mess, I get kind of emotional because I know we done been lied to. Because every time I talk to people, I have never watched a slave movie. The first slave movie that you can call a slave movie that I've ever watched, I've never watched Roots.
You never watched Roots?
No, because why watch something that I know for myself? I don't really believe. And then if you got the nerve in your mind, well, I don't believe we just came over here slave.
Yeah.
But why would I want to watch something that the people that actually did that to the people that I look like are still here wanting to do that?
Yeah.
Some of them want to go back to that lifestyle for us. For what reason? What? And so no, I didn't watch it. 12 Years a Slave. I didn't watch that. I don't watch it.
Guess what? You ain't the only one. I ain't never watched Roots from the beginning to the end. I never have.
Now the one that I have watched, Django. I watched Django.
The message at the end where I told her I put it on Facebook and people didn't realize it. When the lady was in the house at the end of it, when Django got back loose from the guys that was taking him away. The lady that was in the house, but when he bust in the house, they was in the tub laying down there. She was back there looking at a little, the old school. You remember you used to click it to give you the little disc to put it in there. Put the disc in, you click it, and it flicks to the next picture. She was in there with that, and she clicked on that picture, and you see the big. Now think about where Django at. Now they had already had big column buildings already there.
Right.
People didn't even realize that when it was in there. People just skipped right over. They were like, if somebody really paid attention, they probably said, "Oh, okay," and paid no attention. But they was telling us in the movie Django. That's when the movie came upon. They was trying to. Every movie has some kind of settings that's trying to tell you something. And you got
to look at it from
a different perspective
and from a distance as well.
Yeah,
it's just like the movie Independence. No, not Independence. What it was, Enemy of the State.
All them. Will Smith. I can say almost every movie that he made, everybody got a message in it. People don't even. Independence Day. He got iRobot. And I tell everybody, iRobot ain't nothing but Tesla.
There it is. Hey,
ain't nothing but Tesla.
And let's not forget the pursuit of happiness. Yeah, he done. See, and I tell people all the time, you got to watch these movies, not just for if you're gonna watch
entertainment. It's sending a message.
Like I said, now I watched Django, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I only watched it once. You know what I'm saying? Because I read so many books. I'm a book reader. So when you reading a book, this book in your own mind, you're depicting how everything looked to you.
Right. Absolutely.
So when I'm
they're not doing it for you.
Right.
Like the movie is.
Right. And you see the books you read, when you read these books, it tells you he walked in the room, he had on the hard bottom shoes with the blue jeans on pressed with the crease down the middle.
Right.
He had on a Louis Vuitton belt with a green and white button-up shirt, button all the way up to about the four was loose with the collar. They
Right.
giving you, so now you putting this in your mind while you reading it, so you depict it on your own. But then the person that did the movie, he's put the movie on how the movie looked to him, so you see it from his view.
Yeah. That's
So
right.
now
Absolutely.
I don't need to see it from your view when I done already read the book. See, I read a couple of chapters in Roots,
Mm-hmm.
the book.
Mm-hmm.
And when I read the chapter, it sunk me so far in my own mind. I said, I know I don't want to see the movie, so I stopped reading the book. But everybody's like, you got to read it for the history. Well, why would I want to read something? What I want to read is about why they was in there like that, and anybody that can hold you that long and be that evil. But I understand now why. Because this land was not yours. You didn't find this.
Held out people out there, held out people, prisoners of war, and
Right.
and a lot of people don't see that, they don't understand it, and our older OGs that before us, mama age, 70, 80 years old. I mean, I wish we can get to the point where we can get cross to her. My mama, but she hard headed, but it's gonna be hard to get across certain things to her, but that's what they were formed. They were formed from that. So it's hard to break because they were formed.
But
from
them are the ones that that's not to be reached.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say them are the ones that's not to be reached, and not saying that they don't need to hear. It's just that the format you're coming back to them and telling them something that you was taught that you don't believe now, that they agreed on. Mm-hmm. And they still agree on it to this day. Mm-hmm. What you want to do, you want to get to the newer age children and people that know that especially the ones that has a way of changing or have a lifespan to change the world. And what I mean by that, children that's 18, 19, they need to know the true truth, so that when they become a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever in life, they'll know how to push forward and use their resources to tell this other child or that child. You know what I mean?
It's a cycle you have to keep. Right. It's a cycle you have to keep moving.
It's like break the generational curse.
Yes.
And so break the lie that was told to us all these many, many years, to the point of way this lie is older than the people that's living. The people that started the lie dead.
Yes, sir. A lot of them.
You know what I mean?
A lot of them.
Well, right. So what we do is, like, I spoke with my mother about it, and it was the same way. I understand. And
right. I understand.
The reason why I understand is just like the Bible. I was taught things about the Bible in the church that I feel like, okay, that really wasn't that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That ain't what that scripture was talking about. And then I also learned as I studied, I also learned that people would change the words up, whether they talking to you about the Bible or they talking to you about slavery or whether they talking about football or what they talking about. They would change the words up so it fit what they are trying to get on their agenda, what they trying to get.
Whatever's on their mind, that's what they're trying to put it.
So the best thing I can tell anybody, do like what we doing. Like when you first brought it to me back in I think we did a podcast about 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, about 2.
Yeah, and I said what? So you was telling me a lot of these things, and then I started researching. I'm saying, well, okay, this is right. But I started researching it, and I'm researching it because I want to not to show him up, but if it's something that I done been taught that, okay, yeah. But I had been hearing this when I got into the Holy Quran.
Mm-hmm.
When I got into I was hearing this back then. That's what I didn't want to believe from them at first. And the reason why, because I was too busy listening to them talk about the name Jesus Christ.
Right.
And that's what my family was raised on, the name Jesus Christ. So that's what made me kind of that what made me kind of. But see, what I'm getting to is this: you could be done learn something from somebody, and you just push it to the side. Uh-huh. But as you got older, it comes to find out that it comes back. That's when I also learned that when it come down to the what they was talking about the black man, they was on point. And that's what Malcolm X meant when he said, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock landed on us. That means in order for something to land on you, you had to be there before it landed.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what he said.
You know what I'm saying? So and I you know, so it ain't crazy. It's just real.
Yeah. We could.
Yeah. But as we gonna get back with you, okay. And we gonna I'm gonna bring you back, and we gonna keep it going, and I want y'all to tune in. I want y'all to make sure y'all follow me. It's at Russell Transport.
Yep.
It
got that gator head on there. That's that real gator right here.
He's a gator.
Championship Gators, you know.
Yeah, with that basketball, shout out to the Gators too, man.
Yes, sir.
Great win. But y'all make sure y'all follow him on Russell Transport, man. Y'all follow me on Speaking the Real on Instagram, on Facebook. Follow me as Mr. Go Get It on TikTok, and follow Speaking the Real, and subscribe to the Speaking the Real YouTube page, man. Man, Russell, make sure we gonna get back with you. Y'all make sure y'all following. We're gonna be talking some more about this. We're gonna get some more clarity on this.
We got a lot more to dig into.
Yeah, we got a lot more to dig into, and it's gonna get intense. But we're gonna dig into it because it's just something that we just speaking the real on. But we'll be getting with you, man. We'll be getting back at you, man. Make sure y'all follow us, man. Make y'all hit the subscribe button as well, and the like button, and share. Peace.
When they spraying lies, but this is the truth. I ain't gonna post, ain't finna hate on your growth, but they gon' hit my side in the booth. Somebody lied to me too.